Hello guys, welcome to our channel which is Nota Bene Tech on Tube with our latest video on quiz series which is on standards, which we have discussed in ACCA series on standards, IAS standards, International Accounting Standards on accountancy. So in this video, what we're going to do, we're going to attempt a set of questions regarding IAS 8 accounting policies, changes in accounting estimates and errors, and let's see what we have in the questions. And the first is, which of the following is not a duty of the company secretary? Arranging shareholder meetings is a duty. Arranging directors meeting is a duty. Review and sign meetings or board minutes is a duty of a chairperson or chairman. Maintaining company books and records is the duty of the company secretary and general administrative duties. So the third option is the incorrect one. Is the correct one, sorry, regarding as per the question. Second question, which of the following is a characteristic of a principle-based approach to corporate governance? Principle-based approach is rather flexible as compared to rule-based approach, so that first emphasis on achievements, compulsory compliance, visibility of compliance, criminal sections, focus on aims. So the second question, which is the second option, compulsory compliance, is the correct normally focus on aims, focus on aims, criminal sanctions, visibility of compliance, and emphasis on achievements. All four except second is not a flexible characteristic when we talk about a principle-based approach. So the compulsory compliance is the correct answer. Which of the following is not a method for a director to leave office? Resignation, dissolution of the company, being disqualified as a director automatically after 5 years service, absent. If resignation is given, that is the method to leave the office. Dissolution of the company is certainly will make the director without any title, and being disqualified as a director, obviously being a majority of the board members. If it means disqualified any matter and automatically after 5 years of service, normally the duration or the tenure is not mentioned. It is upon the company's memorandum. It's upon the company's policy what would be the tenure. It may vary from company to company. So the option 4 is not a method for a director to leave office. Lack of flexibility is often a criticism of a principle-based approach to internal control. Lack of flexibility is a feature of a principle-based. Lack of flexibility is, yes, it's having flexibility is a feature of a principle-based approach. Lack of flexibility is often criticized for a rule-based approach. So that is a false statement. Which of the following is not a role for a risk manager? Monitor the entity's exposure to risk. Okay. Develop risk management policies. Yes, that is the correct answer. Deal with insurance companies. Yes. Provide direction for enterprise risk management. Yes. Implement a set of risk indicators and reports. Yes. Monitor the entity's exposure to risk. Monitoring is a vast domain. So monitoring is not solely done by the manager. It has to be done by the entity itself, because it's obviously talking about the entity's exposure to risk. So the number of players are involved, not just the risk manager. So that is not the specified role of a risk manager, monitoring the entity's exposure to risk. Which of the following is an example of operational risk? The state of the economy. Operational risk normally deals with an internal control, and when the internal control is failed, because of the processes normally that we consider as an operational risk. So the state of the economy is an external one, the impact of new technology is an external one, actions of competitors is an external one, non-compliance with the regulations is an internal one, currency fluctuation is also an external one. Non-compliance with the regulations, obviously regulations are external, but we are not, when we're talking about the non-compliance, it is because due to the internal control, internal processes failure. That is why we have to consider the fourth option as the correct answer. So, which of the following is not a calculation in risk quantification? Largest predictable loss, expected loss, frequency of losses, transfer of loss, chances of loss. All the five except the fourth one deals in quantification, because always all there is a result which is obviously talks about some sort of a volume, some sort of a result in numbers. So transfer of loss is not a calculation. Which of these is a characteristic of strategic information relevant to the short and medium term? Strategic information is by its term means that it has to be a long-term information and not the short-term or the medium-term, based on quantitative measures. Summarize at a high level, based on quantitative measures, no. Okay, you can, and summarize at a high level, yes, that is the correct answer. Prepared routinely and regularly, concerned with the entities or departments. Audit committees are generally staffed with 2 by 3 executive directors and 2 by 3 non-executive directors. The ratio or the you can say the ratio of executive or the non-executive directors need not to be equal. Okay, there must be a need of non-executive there a need of a non-executive directors in numbers, but obviously they must not be or should not be equal to executive directors. So that is the false statement. Which of these is not part of Tucker's 5-question ethical model? Profitable, legal, fair, right, sustainable are the 5-question ethical model that we talk about the Tucker. So the first one is it economical, is not the correct answer. Which of these is not a self-interest threat? Close business relationship is a self-interest threat. Fraud is not a self-interest threat. Loans and guarantees is a self-interest threat, because when you take about the loans, you are actually you may actually commit some of the self-interest. You may actually commit some acts in the ambit of self-interest, and that may be a threat. So low bowling fees, yeah, it's not a self-interest. It is a self-interest threat. Okay, so financial interest is also a self-interest threat. So fraud is not a self-interest threat. Which of these is not a heading under the GRE guidelines for the framework of a sustainability report? It's environmental, it's labor practices, operational, society, economical. Environmental, human rights, labor practices, society, product, talking about the product as well, society, economical. Economic are the headings under the GRE guidelines, not the operational one. That is of the third option is not a heading under the GRE guidelines. The third option is one of the correct is the correct answer. So let's see what is the result when we're going to finish up. Yes, so we have done probably 11 out of 12 questions answered correctly. Let's see what was one of the question that we not actually done correctly. Let's see. Okay, which of the following is the principal approach is focused? Okay, emphasis on achievements. Compulsory. Okay, for principle based approach is normally a flexible one. So is a characteristic. Okay, I was actually saying that. Okay, the other four are the aim of a rule-based approach. When you just go back to the video, you will see that yes, I was considering this question as not a characteristic of a principle-based approach. That is the reason that that's I have actually marked it as an incorrect answer. So it's all about the video. You have checked out the quiz. You can go and attempt it by yourself and look how you're going to perform, or what would be the result after you're done with the overall questions. So in this video we have tried to check our knowledge, or what we have retained earlier in our standards videos. So we are going to keep on providing you some with the same set of videos, especially about quizzes, and afterwards we'll definitely going to handle some of the more scenario based on complex questions as well. But it will might be in the long run down the road. But right now the main focus is just to complete the standards and to challenge ourselves what we are, where we are standing in terms of our knowledge and in terms of our skill. So I'll end up my video. I appreciate that you went with us all through the video. So please subscribe, like, comment and share if it's possible, and I hope to see you in the next video. Thank you very much. Take care and have a nice day.